Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. This is 1,805, I believe. Okay. It is late. We are burning the midnight oil, but it can't be helped. And we are on July 12th, 2025. And Richard was forcibly removed in July of 2020 from his barracks room, and his life taken from him. And he's a total hero. The more we find out, the larger he gets, the larger he gets. And I think that El Paso will never forget his name. I really don't, because I'm telling you, this is really exposing so much. Well, we know sacrilege because of the bodies. We know the sacrilege because of the funerals, the funeral fraud, the cremation fraud, giving people burned animal ash, burned animal remains as ash, and in return rather than their loved ones. It's just total sacrilege the way the bodies were just thrown around. Even the one in the the one in the hearse is, the inside of that hearse is just, you can tell they've been doing this for a long time. They've been committing this sacrilege for a long time. And poor us, I absolutely have to I tell you how absolutely horrible this is, because the more evidence that comes out, the more it looks like at least partial remains of Richard ended up there. And poor us. Can you imagine what we're fighting against? This, the depth of this evil, because this is absolutely part of the political party, the PAN party there, and that's been confirmed now. In Juarez, Mexico, in Chihuahua, Mexico, the PAN party, they have direct ties to the ownership of this dumping ground of death, and sacrilege, absolute sacrilege. And it just shows you they just think God must be like a little buttercup. But he's not. He's not. God is no buttercup, and he does not take sacrilege lightly. It's just, I don't even, damn them to hell. Damn them to hell. That's how I feel about this. Look at what they did. There is no room for any kind of pity for the people that have committed this sacrilege. No pity at all. And if you don't know what I'm talking about the hundreds of bodies that were not even processed, taken and dumped in this yard that they called a crematoria. And some, they were found, and I could set up this whole live stream to show you the pictures of it, but it's on the Facebook. And you can look it up yourself, in Chihuahua, Juarez, Mexico. hundreds of bodies piled on top of each other. And now the AG, the Attorney General, okay, who is absolutely implicated in this. He's so implicated in this, along with the governor, who is the PAN party, PAN, PAN, which is really uh, interesting because in the Bible, God doesn't speak too nice of the PAN party. PAN, yeah, God doesn't speak too nice about that. So Maru Campos Galvan, which is important in this case. All these names, every part of every name is important in this case, and that's why they change names a lot. They change their names a lot. Leilani Hart has changed her name a lot. But they're absolutely implicated in this, and the AG, Caesar Harity, I practiced the name, but anyway, it's late. Um, he is now trying to shut everyone up. Don't talk about it. Don't talk about it. Don't, because he's so implicated in it. You know, he's supposed to be the watchdog, the regulator, make sure that it's being it's being inspected and regulated. And we're talking about the cremation of bodies here, right? It's highly regulated. And this place is filthy, filthy with rotting bodies, filthy with rotting bodies that are really, it's really a dumping ground for cartel, um, the worst type of crimes, the worst type of crimes. And the results of those worst type of crimes is dumped there. And there is no dignity. And purchase funeral homes, which really is, I, I'm just wondering because our investigation is really telling us that purchase is really connected to all of these funeral homes. It is the main funeral home, and of course, Bill Hicks is its lawyer, is Purchase's lawyer, and and so, if you think, oh, I'm using Martin Funeral Home or whatever, no, they're all connected, and they're connected to Texas Tech University Health Science Center, because of Mario Raskin Ortiz, and he's absolutely illegal. He's absolutely been millions of dollars. He's been getting millions of dollars um, over these years, starting like around 2013, I guess, maybe a little before that, that he was brought over and illegally. Illegally, his whole visas, eh, eh, and the waiver and everything we've looked at all of it. We've looked at it again and we looked at it again. And so when I say he's illegal and he's not qualified, and he lied and all of that, and he's been getting paid almost at right now, almost $500,000 a year. And this is the doing of Veronica Escobar, okay, because she's implicated in this. Um, So you have Bill Hicks and you have Veronica Escobar and you have Mario Raskin Ortiz, who is connected to 3905 Bliss Avenue, who's connected to Rosa Maria Valdez Garcia and Danae Katzen and Jonathan Ambrose, which is he's connected to 143 ADA. He went to West Point. He didn't finish West Point, but he went to West Point and he joined the Army and he deployed. He deployed with 143 ADA. Um, this is 143 is important because they have the fuel. They have the fuel. Um, uh, and they're trafficking fuel. They were trafficking fuel. They were trafficking everything. Criminal trafficking. We just put criminal trafficking because if it's not bolted to the ground, and even that they would want to try to traffic, and even dead bodies, and even dead bodies, and even cash in on the death of the body multiple times. And this explains why the dismemberment, this is the transportation of remains, the 3 autopsy reports, cashing in at the VA, the death benefits, the disability benefits, and then cashing in again on a John Doe migrant that uh, gets special aid in order to cremate or to bury her, and then take him over um, to Juarez and another John Doe, and cash in again through the charities, through these uh, I would say blasphemous charities, um, and cashing in, through USAID, which tells you all of our investigation tells us that President Trump is on this all the way, because what did he do? Turn off the spigot for USAID, because he absolutely know what you think that they would have exposed this cartel, narco politics, political narco the pan politics, right? But it's not just that, it's also Bill Hicks, it's also Veronica Escobar. So it's also the politics in the United States and El Paso. And do you think that it would all been exposed, um, on its own? No, I don't think so at all. I don't think so at all. I think this is from this Trump administration. Um, I think that they absolutely know what happened to Richard's remains, um, and they're helping us to get to it because of the USAID, because of this exposure of this disgusting dumping ground for this political cartel tide, um, sacrilege, absolute sacrilege, and I would say blasphemy too, because it's involving these charitable groups and 501c3s. Uh, they give all the appearance of virtue, and yet they have none of it. They give all the appearance of faith and ethics, but they have none of it. And I think that that's they really pretend. They really pretend all they're just such fake. There really are wolves and or demons in sheep's clothing. That's what they are. And they use these faith organizations, um, and the funeral homes for grand theft larceny, right? Grand theft larceny, with such a big con job. So and we are going through the LLCs right now and all the property connections, because we know of we know that they're all connected. Um, the Bill Hickses, the Bob Moores, the Manny Chaviras, the Nadal Beams, the Isis Chavira, um, the Sanchez's, with those certain ones, uh, Texas Ranger, Gustavo Sanchez, the Danae Katz and Ambreses, the Jonathan Ambreses, the Lalani Harts, the Tavita, which is his family, is mortuary affairs with um, and we know that Amber Chase was all in on this until we stopped her, and then even then, there's a group, they're all in on this funeral um, scam, which is, the worst type of scam, because you're getting people when they are just very, very weak. And I'm telling you right now, everything that I learned, hell no, am I ever going to be pro cremation. I'm sorry. Um, this scam and looking into it, um, it is just sorry. This has just been absolute hell for us. And that's what they create. That's what these people create is a hell. Um, I mean, look at those pictures, filthy hell. They have no respect for Corpus Christi, right? They have no respect for Corpus Christi at all. Um, and no dignity at all. And so we are really actively investigating, and that's why it takes us long to come on, um, because we're finding so much that connects the properties and the LLCs with the purchases and with all of these people that really will connect all the dots for you. I mean, right now the dots are connected enough and they've been connected enough, right? But it's getting clearer and clearer, and the closer, the tighter we put this puzzle together. Like before, maybe it was a 500-piece puzzle, and now, we have a 10,000-piece puzzle. And because all this information is coming in and it's tighter, it's shows more. And and um, and thank you very much to so many people in El Paso that have helped us with this, and also in Washington D.C. that are absolutely helping us put this together. And we see through our investigation that it is getting closer and closer to Richard's remains. And I'm not just saying that. Um, I'm absolutely confirming to you tonight that our investigation is getting closer and closer to Richard's remains. And, that is um, pretty emotional, believe it or not. Of course, it's really emotional for me to report that um, because it's so ugly. Because it's so ugly, but that's what we want our son's remains. Um, And just like in that one picture where you see the lady in the underwear with the blood on her, if that was my sister, if that was my mother, if that was my daughter, if that was my wife, um, if that was my aunt, um, I would want her body so that I could wash her, um, dress her, and put her in a beautiful place where she could have rest, that she could have rest. And I would, of course, have all of I'd ask my priest absolutely to probably wash her in holy water, right? I mean, she has the evidence of really a terrible death on her. And no one bothered to, what we know, there's no identification. Only 6 have been identified of these hundreds. And so and I think that the families there in Juarez feel the same way. They want all of these bodies identified so that if they are their aunt, if they are their sister, if they are their brother, if they are their father, if they are their cousin, if they are their uncle, um, that they can take that body and give it some dignity, right? Um, those that have faith, that believe in Corpus Christi, uh, feel that way. and want to, because the occult is real, y'all. And the body has to be laid to rest, right? Because there's a haunting. And, that's just, and we all know it. There's a haunting. And it really pollutes, um, peace, peace. And there is no peace when you have that kind of sacrilege, when you have that kind of haunting, that kind of crime. And so the families absolutely know this, and they are up in arms. And now the Attorney General, Cesar Halliday, um, is uh, is trying to silence them, trying to silence their demands. I hope they get louder. I hope they get very loud, as loud as we've been. I wish I could get louder, because this whole thing is just the worst nightmare. So, and it is really our focus. I could talk about more about the flooding and the evidence coming out about that. I could talk about the Epstein files and all of the chaos that is causing. Those are diversions, absolute diversion. You might say, oh, the Epstein file is not a diversion. Um, and you might be right there a little bit. You might be right. It's international. It's an international um, child trafficking. We know that, right? International child traffic. Um, but for us, and uh, I think, because it's, um, I think Richard's case is bigger. It's even bigger than the Epstein. And there's lots of reasons why we feel that way. Just look at the 21 agencies involved in this case, and being in El Paso in the front door, and the connections down into Mexico, the connections over to California for the shipping, a lot of shipping. That's why Western Frontier Trading is so important in this, because of their shipping. Um, and Nadal being so up to no good, right? And Isis Chavira. I mean, anyone that's family with Manny Chavira, with Bob Moore, they're absolutely all family connected. Um, they're up to no good, and uh, they just do things that just the average person just can't even believe that they would be so so bad. Like Richard said, Mom, it's so bad. It's just so bad. Um, so the focus for us is, of course, our son's remains, and I will tell you that the evidence absolutely is indicating that Richard's remains were handled by purchase or a affiliate purchase. Um, for example, like Martin Funeral Homes, um, and that's how they transported his body over, because they have um, the infrastructure in their business to do it, or um, under the guise of funeral and cremation and all of that. Um, they have the people in place to do it. They have the business structure and the people in place to do it. And of course, this not being an accident, but absolutely being exposed by the Trump administration. And even the Mexican media is pointing fingers, which they never do because they're subsidized by the government. So Mario, Maru Campos is, well, they're pointing fingers at her for good reason. For good reason. These are narco politicians, and AG, Attorney General Halliday, is absolutely, um, I think he's freaking out for him to want to shut everyone up. Are you serious? It's kind of like, how Dan Patrick, who is up to no good, that's hard to hear because some people really like him. He's up to no good, y'all. When Dan Patrick told family members not to get drones and try to look for, or even get a private helicopter and look for their loved ones after that flooding, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Sorry. No way. We'd find a way, make a way. Find a way, make a way. Um, if that was one of my daughters, oh man, I don't know how many drones I'd have out there. Um, and and it's not like it's a little area, right? This is Texas, and Texas is big. There's plenty of room, and these responders absolutely are trained to work with others, to team up, to coordinate, right? So no, they're hiding something, and of course, I can suspect that because of my dream that was absolutely about the flooding. So of course, with Richard's situation and this, we're doing everything we can to get to the bottom of where they transported Richard's remains. He was worth a lot of money, y'all. His remains were worth a lot of money. A lot of benefits, a lot of death benefits, disability benefits, a lot of AUSA. And I know I said that at the beginning. I want to repeat it. They would not just let him be out in the desert, okay? His remains were worth too much money. And this is what they do. This is their business model. Grand theft larceny in the funeral business, con jobs in the funeral business, and transporting bodies is their business. Selling bodies is their business. That's why you have officials now asking if there was organ harvesting, right, at this place. And that's why they want a forensic evaluation done on these remains, because they have a real fear that that was done to them. So, and do they have the means to do that? Yes, because of their connections to Texas Tech University Health Science Center, okay, which is proven. So it really, all the people that came right away to us and surrounded us, and they all seem to be in the funeral business, right? In this mortuary affairs, funeral business, and media business. Um, and it's a, you can make a lot of money doing it. And I don't want to advertise it at all. I'm just saying that there is motive and that there is absolutely a want to capitalize on what they did to Richard by what they did to his remains. So, and we know that they targeted him starting in 2019 with the whole car thing and into January and on, to frame him, to discredit him any way they can, any way they could. They absolutely target him, and that's been confirmed. hard evidence confirms that. And they were setting that up so that when the right time came, they could take his life and put forth a false narrative. I saw that there was a lot of talk on the Walmart mass shooting, on Joe Spencer and Sam Medrano, absolutely, and even Veronica Escobar. We posted a few things there. Um, Absolutely, they need to be arrested, right, for what they did, and this under 800,000 that they made on the federal case. That's sorry. If you believe that, then I have some kind of property down in the Everglades near Alligator Alcatraz that I can sell you. I mean, that's just the most bogus thing. Um, and why can I say that? Because the evidence, there's so much evidence that shows they were milking that cow for way more than that, for way more than that. They were charging for everything. So, uh, you know, and of course the state case also millions of dollars, millions. Okay, everyone, thank you so much. We're just going through all of these LLCs and this property, um, and I wanted to put together the breaking news with Bernadette Medrano and this Ameli. Um, and thank God it's Saturday now, right? It's Saturday. So we're working hard behind the scenes. Maybe I can get that done every day. I know um, the intentions are all there, but know that they are connected. They work together. There was um, tampering, uh, allowed access, illegal, unauthorized access given to individuals that um, tampered, and this Interpol picture and to use all that information against Richard. That came out of Bernadette Medrano's office, and of course, she is the wife of Sam Medrano, the most corrupt judge in El Paso history. Um, yeah, uh, all that leaked information from unauthorized access, illegal access, came from her office, and they use that um, to try to intimidate us and stuff like that. They were just up to no good. So, and then of course, um, Montoya, his wife being, part of that, his 2028 stamp coming out of it. It's just, there's not coincidences, y'all. This is all this confirms what they were doing in this funeral criminal trafficking, also using faith groups. This is really important because of the property and the LLCs. So thank you so much. And I will be back tomorrow. Please share all the information that I'm sharing.